Ladies and gentlemen out there, this is Artie Lang.
This is disgusting. Everybody's too nice now. We're all so nice, aren't we? But the thing is, we're not nice. Secretly, we're mean. That's essentially the show.
It is funny. I cannot be a bigger just blob of nothingness and negativity.
Party time. You want to get a little limbo dance going? Come on, I'll do it. The third person at the table was the bottom of my stomach. With hair and paleness and stretch marks.
American Nightmare.
Weight like a spider.
And this talks about every controversial subject you can imagine.
Shock jock Artie Lang on Media Day. Can't be with that sweet stuff. Nah.
Smack the sugar right out of you. Yeah, welcome to the Breakfast Show. It's Artie Lang here. The Artie Quitter podcast is on the air. Joe Matarese not here today. Joe, of course, with the work ethic of a illegal Mexican, looking to build a hotel for us in the scorching hot sun, or wash our clothes or clean our shitters. Joe, of course, not here because he has two sick children at home. And we know who wears the pants in that family. Joe was ordered to stay home and take care of those children. And I hope everything's all right. He's got a couple of good kids over there. And his wife, of course, ordered Joe to stay home.
Hey, Luke was hanging out with us last time. So that was cool.
Luke is a great kid. Luke is a perfect combination of, if you know Joe's wife, Steph, she's adorable and really a nice body, good looking. And Joe, of course, always been a hit with the ladies. And it looks like his son's going to be similar. His son looks like a good-looking kid. I mean, I know. Listen,
I mean, Artie, I think you're crossing some lines.
I mean, he's a cute kid, all right? I'm secure enough from people knowing I'm not a pedophile to say that.
At what point in your life can you hit that point and say, I can call a kid cute?
I can call a kid cute. As a matter of fact, Attell used to have a joke where people get so uptight these days. You can't say a kid's cute anymore. You have to say, listen, your baby's cute. I don't want to fuck him. But, adorable kid. And he's a fun kid. But Joe, again, used to be that guy who he ordered the chicks around, and he completely met his menu. Joe was, what the fuck? Hey, honey, you're not, listen, I'm going out. I got a spot tonight at the club, and then I'm hitting the club. You get it? You stay here and make me a grilled cheese sandwich.
What was he wearing?
Capizios. You stay here and steam my Capizios. I want them steamed. I want my Capizios steamed and my parachute pants ironed. I want them ironed. You understand? And you get the backhand. You get the back of the hand. You understand? I take you in the back. I smack you around. And when you leave the party, you don't look nobody in the face. You don't look nobody directly in the eye when you leave the party. You look down at the floor. When you're with Joe Matarese, you look down at the floor. I don't want to you're not making no eye contact with any other comedians. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dogs out there. You don't make eye contact with nobody. I give you the backhand. I give you the South Jersey salute. You know what that is? The South Jersey salute is, that's what'll happen if you don't iron my pants. I want my ironed pants. And my Capizio steamed. You understand? I'll smack you. That guy's gone because he met a good woman. And a woman who ordered him to stay home today. And I just, obviously I can't pay these guys. They come in to be funny for promotion, and that's it. But and I appreciate it. Chris Cotton's here. Chris,
I have nowhere to be. I'm sorry.
Chris doesn't have children. Chris is barren. Chris doesn't have children, but Chris is here, and he's African American, and he gets here. Yeah. And Joe, of course, giving the whites a bad name. That's what we do on the Artie Quitter podcast, though. We destroy stereotypes. Thank you.
Look, you didn't pay me to fight. You paid me to walk.
There you go. It's a Chris Cotton drop. Now, Chris Cotton's here. Always great to have him here, as always. And we miss Joe. So hopefully he'll be allowed out. But I'm just saying, I can't pay him. But what if Joe had a real job? What if Joe actually had a day job where, what does he say? A week and a half in? Listen, I can't make it. I can't get over there today. I got a sick kid. What am I, a jerk off? You think I'm a jerk off? My wife's out making the bucks. That's how I handle the broads. I say, you make the money and the grilled cheese sandwiches and steam my capizios and iron my pants. And if the kid's got a sniffy nose, I'll wipe his ass or something.
It's going to sound gay.
So Joe's not here, but we hope he... of course, James slipping back behind the dish. James wasn't here, but he has to work. I don't mind that. You got to make a living. And Chicago Deflategate, I can't get rid of.
Yeah.
He's here 24/7. No, I'm happy to have the crew here. We got a lot of good feedback on yesterday's show with the comics and David Tellum and Neve and the guys hanging out. And it's good to see all that feedback on Twitter. People seem to be liking the show a lot, which is people like it and they dig it. And I saw Chris Cotton, the very married Chris Cotton, in a very steamy Cotton 215. 215 being Philly's area code. Right?
Yeah, I had a lot because somebody asked like, "Was 215 fucking is the area
not
code?"
your blood sugar?
It might also match.
Cotton 215 is his Twitter handle, as they say, and a very steamy exchange with Chelsea, who's going to be coming up here. Chelsea, she left a voicemail saying she wants to come up here and prove why she's a big fan. How'd that go? How did that end? I didn't see the end of the thread, as they say in the business. How'd that go?
It ended with a very vague. It ended with a very vague DM. But aside from that, she was a little thirsty, as they say. A little
very
thirst
thirsty. My
was
God,
very
she's
real
like in the Sahara.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of. I told her, look, I won't be bribed unless you're trying to bribe, and she was all about bribing.
I saw that. Well, she's got a lot of ass pictures. Picture of her ass, and she's got a nice, big, healthy ass.
Yeah.
She's got an ass that's right in the range where whites and blacks like it.
She has a interracially accepted ass. She has an ambiguous ass.
She does. She has a race friendly ass to where it's not enormous. So just the blacks like it. Like it's not enormous like Coco, Ice-T's wife.
Yeah,
that's a big ass. Do you love that ass?
I don't love I'm more of a Serena type ass. Like I like it to be
Serena Williams.
Oh yeah, her ass is because it's huge, but it's not. Amber Rose is like
Serena
almost,
Williams. The problem with Serena Williams, she also has a huge cock.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad.
Very masculine. She's a very masculine woman. She's pretty though. Actually, she gets.
She got moments. Like sometimes if you catch her on the wrong angle, she looks like a dude.
She gets a bad rap. You catch her on a wrong angle, she could look like Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
Which is show business.
Which no disrespect to you, Tracy. I mean, every now and then you catch Tracy on the right angle, you can look like Serena.
Exactly. I play tennis. Yeah, 60 love. Yeah, love serving 20. So Chelsea will be up here, hopefully with that ass. And at some point.
She offered me a horsey ride. I really didn't understand it. I get it, but I don't get it.
What could that be? What's a horsey ride?
I'm guessing, since she had a fat ass, I'm guessing she fucking her from the back. I'm guessing.
Is it a fat ass?
I don't know yet because she was bent over, so it could be a wide.
It's a horsey.
It could be a wide ass.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a fat booty.
Just a wide ass. Of course, I told a story about Sam Simon yesterday, and I got a lot of reaction on Twitter. People asking if there was anything I might have done to offend him that I remember for being the reason, and for him doing what he did. And no, I don't remember anything. But a lot of my life is a heroin haze the last 10 years. I don't know, but Sam hasn't contacted me. When he does, if he does, I'll let you know, and we'll either have a private conversation or something that he's fine with me sharing. But that hasn't happened yet. So I'll let you know if it ever does. I'll keep you posted on that. What is that noise? Dan, what is that? What is that beeping?
I don't know. Oh, it's my phone.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking around like, what's going on in here?
Shut that off.
It was a vibrating.
Well, put it down or somewhere else with the vibrating.
It was on my phone. Look, you didn't pay me to fight. You paid me to walk.
Yeah. God, that was driving me crazy. So I'll keep you posted on Sam Simon. Today, our guest, John Avello. If you were a fan of the old DirecTV show, Johnny Avello is the executive director and of race and sports. Of race and sports. Is that his? What does that mean? Race, like racial? Like he's a direct? Does he hire different races or something? Executive director of race and sports at the Wynn Las Vegas.
That's weird.
What does that mean, Dan?
Is he the HR guy and the football guy? Like,
what does that
fuck?
mean? Executive director of race and sports. Does that mean racing?
I would imagine, yeah.
Let's hope.
You wrote it. You don't think that looks weird? That's odd. Anyway, I know he is the director of the sports book. You know, in Vegas they have it's legal to bet on sports, and they have entire rooms dedicated to the lines on games.
That's his title.
Yeah, it's his title. We'll have to ask him about that, what exactly the race means. But he's at the Wynn, Las Vegas. Great hotel. The Wynn in Vegas is a great hotel. They know how to treat winners, if you know what I mean. Yeah, executive director of the sports lounge there. He's going to talk about the prop bets in football. And I want to ask him about, we haven't addressed this balls being overly inflated or not inflated enough, deflated.
Jesus Christ.
They deflated them, the Pats, right? This whole scandal
Fuck
now.
the Pats. That's why I hate the Pats. I just hate the fucking Pats.
Well, listen,
general.
what do you think about this? Do you think this is going to be something that... See, Danny seems to think it's going to really affect their legacy. I say if they win another Super Bowl convincingly, people completely forget about this. I think they can forget about the deflating balls. Chris, your thoughts?
They forget about it until it comes up in an argument in the bar and you can use it. It's always like, unless it can be used, you don't care.
But, they might lose it. Listen, what happened was, for you people who might not know this or follow sports, in the AFC Championship game, the Patriots really dominated that game. I mean, 45-7 from the beginning. It was all Pats. And it's been proven now, I guess. The league investigated, and this has been proven. And who knows who knew? Did Kraft know? Did Belichick know? Did Brady know? Blah, 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 blah. There's a cover-up. This is going to be like Watergate. Belichick's like Nixon at this point. I didn't know. I didn't know about the deflated balls. Listen, let me tell you something about the Jews. The Jews are in a conspiracy against me. I don't know anything about deflated balls. I just run the country. I run the team. This is a cover-up. A cover-up against me. And, Belichick reminds me of Nixon, actually, the way he looks. And he's known as a cheater. And a lot of Patriots haters consider him a cheater.
And I hate the Patriots.
And, I do, too. I'm a Giant fan. But, listen, so supposedly the Patriots deflated the footballs, which on a cold, rainy day is a complete advantage. Complete advantage for the offense. It's easier to throw the ball. It's easier to grip the ball. Therefore, it's easier to throw it, and it's easier to catch it. Mm-hmm. So it's totally an advantage for the offense. So what they alleged and what the league has now confirmed is that the balls were deflated. The ball boys are, home team guys, deflated the balls and threw them into the game when the Pats were on offense. Therefore, they had the deflated balls on offense for the Patriots. They were fully inflated, so there was no advantage when the Colts and Andrew Luck were on the field. And I'll tell you what, Luck had a bad game. I mean, all the evidence points. I mean, he had a bad game. Worst QB rating he's had in a long time, maybe ever. 7 points. They didn't look like the Colts from the week before. And again, the Pats look like, 10 years ago in their prime. So it really probably affected the game. And you know what sucks? They can't replay the game. There's no time. It doesn't make sense. The Patriots are going to lose a draft pick and maybe, Dan, what's the other thing that could happen? Fine, okay, a fine. But again, a fine is like nothing.
Dude,
to Bob
it's so
Kraft.
worth cheating. It's so worth cheating. Like,
Right. I mean, that's what I learned from this. You're Bob Kraft or anybody who has enough money to own a football team like the Maras or Jerry Jones. There's no fine that's going to affect this guy's life. So just cancel that out. If a fine is what it like, basically, say the fine is $500,000, which it won't be, but say it is. Say it's $500,000. If you said to Bob Kraft or any other owner with that kind of competitive nature, hey, would you pay $500,000 to get to the Super Bowl? They'd all say yes. Every one of them. Yes. That's a big yes column check mark. Absolutely. So forget about that. Losing a draft pick, okay, but they're going to win their fourth Super Bowl with this quarterback and this coach, which means dynasty.
Yeah.
So you lose a draft pick. They're always good anyway. Kraft put together a hell of a team there. So I don't know who decided to do this. I don't know how Belichick could not know. Maybe Kraft didn't know.
I mean, they should have known something was fishy when they had Nerf balls and the other team had
Brady. Well, Brady certainly
mace tops.
Brady throwing it and the receivers catching. I don't notice something, but maybe they thought the other team had the same balls, which is bullshit. I agree with it.
I mean, I would never complain if I get the ball and I feel it. Because I used to center, and when I feel the ball, I'm sitting like, oh, this is nice and
you were
nice
center and
squishy.
nose guards.
I was center and nose guard.
Yeah.
So
I know the center would have to know. Absolutely,
he would know as soon as he touches it. It's like, oh, this feels good.
You
Like,
grip the ball. Yeah, you grip the ball. So basically, they got away with it. They're going to the Super Bowl, and if they win the Super Bowl, people will forget about it because, like, look, they beat Seattle in the Super Bowl. It's their 4th Super Bowl. Blah 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 blah.
Years down.
Yeah, but
years down. Out of the box. I mean, if they win the Super Bowl, at first it's going to be fuck the Patriots.
see, I disagree. They win the Super Bowl. 10 seconds later, they forget about this.
They do.
They forget about it.
I don't
hoisting
think so.
that trophy. Kraft's got the Vince Lombardi trophy with Belichick and Brady sitting there. Brady with that fucking supermodel face. Yeah, I said it. I'm secure enough to fucking say it. The guy looks like a cute broad. For
looks
Christ's
so good.
sake.
He
Fuck
looks so
him.
good.
Oh, that was a little creepy.
Ooh,
Brady. Oh God, he looks so good. Oh God, I'd love to fuck him.
Jack says you got a great big cock.
Who's that?
Me. That's who that was.
I'd love to fuck him.
That was Boogie Nights, right? Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to fuck Tom Brady right in his filthy, fucking beautiful face. Oh, Tom Brady's for the show. I'd like to get a horsey ride from Tom Brady.
You know what I don't like? See, this was all off air. See, this is the stuff that we talk about, but I didn't think you were going to say it on air.
I'd like to get a horsey ride from Tom Brady. Yeah, Chris and I talk every night during Sports Center on the phone, and I'm revealing some of those secrets. I'm sorry. I'd like to fuck him, Artie. Artie, you got to agree with me, right? For some reason, he has a Scottish brogue in this. Chris, a young black man from Philadelphia, has a Scottish brogue when we talk on the phone. Nobody thinks like me. Nobody acts like me. Nobody looks like me. Nobody thinks like I do. You're up to the devil's business. Yeah. So anyway, so you think it'll linger for a while? I think if they win the, flipping to sports guy, James, what do you think? Do you think it'll go away quickly if they win? People forget this scandal.
Not really. I
Really?
think it is something that's
You
going to hang
harp on
with
him
him. Because I mean, Belichick at this point definitely has a reputation as being a guy who, no matter what it takes, he's going to win. He's going to do what he has to do.
That's the coach you want to hire.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
But you know what? You know what's good about him? Whatever he's doing, he doesn't get caught till after the game.
He gets caught right at the
That's
moment
what I
you
mean. They can't
do shit.
replay the fucking. What real justice would be? Let's replay the game, or talk about holy hell breaking loose in the city of Beantown. Yeah. They forfeit the fucking game. You know, I mean they were dominant in this game.
I think you're right about Brady though. Like his legacies, if he wins another Super Bowl,
He's solid.
It won't matter with him. 20
Well, he's
years
got
from now.
3 already. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
In other words, I don't think he gets tied in the same way that like Belichick.
Belichick's more the
looking shady.
Belichick's more the villain.
Yeah. He's Jafar.
Yeah,
Belichick is
yeah,
definitely
no.
Jafar in this situation.
I mean, that would make sense. Do you think Bob Kraft knows? Think a guy like that knows?
I mean, I don't know. He's very involved in the sense that I think he's like there patting people on the back, like you're doing a good job. But I don't think he's really involved in the everyday.
Chris, your thoughts on this?
I think the ball boy itself should be hung. No, we can't hang any people.
Could the ball boy?
At least
Now,
stabbed in
there's
the
a
fucking-
there's a good question.
Oh yeah, he's
could the
part of
ball
it.
boy himself pull off this?
The ball
scandal?
boys, they're all in. Like I don't like even in high school.
But
football,
could they
they're
do
all
it by
in.
themselves? Could they make the decision?
Oh, no,
and just
they-
go without Belichick telling them, or a
Check
buffer?
them accounts. Check their fucking
Yeah,
accounts.
maybe they owed
should
some money.
check their accounts, and they should look into the ball boys' account. This is
Well,
how
there's
bad it can get. They
listen.
can look into this shit, and I'm telling you.
Oh, you mean as far as gambling?
Oh, I feel like somebody's doing something shady in the ball boys. It'll show up in their fucking
Well, listen, if you're
TD
bet-
bank account. They went from being
You sell that tip.
Yeah.
You know, you sell that. Hey, by the way, just so you know,
That's a big
tonight-
tip. That's an excellent one.
they go from being
Not that you would ever benefit.
maybe
from
the
that.
ball boy owes a mob guy some money. There's a lot of scenarios.
I mean, with a ball boy, if they're overdrawn, they're fucked. You know what I mean? Your account, so they probably just want to get out
That's
the
something where you
negatives.
don't buy anything for a while. You
No.
wait.
If you're a smart gambler, that money doesn't see the bank.
Take it
Come
back.
on.
Take it
I'm not
back.
talking about, for the ball boys. They wasn't gambling. They just got the little like, look, hey, make sure these balls are a little bit harder than these balls.
Hey, Bob
Fucking, here's 10,000.
Bob Kraft and Belichick. Belichick sees the ball boy with a brand new pink Cadillac. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Take it back. Take it back.
Take it back.
Mr. Belichick, it's in my mother's name." The car's in my mother's name. It's just no one's ever gonna know. Take it the fuck back. Take it the fuck back.
This might be.
We got how much heat we got on us right now. Take it the fuck back.
This might become the next Boston scandal right here. This might become the next Boston. Like, we got to do something big in sports again. They haven't had anything for a while.
Listen, I'm gonna. You know what? I'll ask Avello, because Avello, being the executive director at Wynn Las Vegas, he makes the lines. This guy's the odds maker. This guy is De Niro in Casino. He's the Robert De Niro character in Casino. This guy knows what he's doing. And I'm going to ask him how, like, say he had that tip. Say he had the tip that the balls were going to be deflated only when the Pats had it. How would that affect the line to him? He might, or is it off the boards? Is it off the charts because of that? Is that how much it affects a game? He'd probably go, I couldn't even give you a line on it. I couldn't even give you a line on it.
It would. I mean, I want to know his thing because he's the race and sports guy. I want to know what's his numbers on blacks over whites right now. I want to know.
Well, listen, there's all sorts of things. I love the prop betting. I want to ask him about. I looked in the paper. The first half under over is 24.5, and I love the over in that. The under over in the first half is 24 and a hook. The Pats are minus a point and a half. So the Pats are the favored right now. Patriots are favored right now by a point and a half, so it's almost a pick 'em. The money line is basically a pick 'em almost. But here's the greatest one. For the 48.5 is the under over in the full game. Here's the greatest prop bet I saw, and I want to see if Avello has this. I doubt he does in Vegas. 122.5 seconds is the under over. It'll take Idina Menzel to sing the national anthem.
Are you serious?
They have a line on that. 122.5 seconds under over to sing the national anthem. Now, think about that. Is that, I don't know. I don't even know what I'd bet there. I'm trying to think. Is that a long time?
That's 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little over 2 full minutes to sing the I thought the national anthem's a 3-minute tune. I like the over in that, right?
And Adina, she's what is she? She's a white woman, right?
I don't even know who Idina Menzel is.
Yeah, she's the that chick who does the Frozen song, I think. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That seems long.
So
It seems long.
It seems
kinda.
long.
Oh, I mean, but most songs, like a pop song, is 3 minutes. So
Yeah, but it's
the national anthem's not longer than 2 minutes.
It depends on how. Again, you said like how I don't know why you mentioned the race, but like the grandiose note.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be honest. If it's Al Green, you could be there for 4 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, or even Sinatra, the way he phrased stuff. He would add stuff in there. He was the original rapper, Francis Albert. No, you're right. But and they do like to show off by hitting those notes. Land of the free. I mean, if someone is long on the free,
I would take the under though. I would go under.
What a great thing to bet. Could you imagine that action?
I would take the under.
When it's you have the over and you're rooting for her to hold that free.
Come on, you dirty bitch! Hold the free.
You're at home. You're free. Come on.
Somebody else is rooting against you. Shorten that shit up.
Yeah, hold it.
Let it go, bitch. Let it go.
Shorten that shit up. Come on, you show off. We get it.
That's funny.
You know what? If I could find a bookie to take that bet, I'm betting the fucking over.
You betting the over? I would say bet the under.
I'm going to bet the over. I think it's short. I'm betting the over.
Everybody goes long. A lot of people go long. I feel like this bitch from where she's. I feel like she's going under. If she's the let it go chick, let it go. Like that bitch, I feel like she's going under.
All right.
I feel like she's going under.
I'm betting the over. If I can find a bookie to take this, I'm betting the over.
I'm telling you. I told you before in the first podcast, I said. I am a shitty gambler, but I'm a good stand next to you guy, and I'm usually good with those picks.
You're the direct opposite of a mush. You're saying you're good luck.
I'm very.
If you're
much
rolling
good
the
luck.
dice, you want to be standing.
Yeah, if I was making a bet, I would say go against me. Since I'm not making a bet, I would say go with me.
Okay.
I would say under. I don't even know the bitch. If she
listen,
let it go.
I guess you're the one up 10,000. I guess you're the smart one. I'm Bill Maher. You're stupid. I'm smart.
Someone needs to explain to me.
that brings that brings me to the State of the Union address. Barack Obama delivered the State of the Union address, and that, I tell you what, whether you agree with his policies or not, that is one smooth motherfucker, man. That, I mean, he gets
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
He is, man. He knows how to rile up an audience, and I'll tell you what, I really think that. That's going to be his legacy. He inherited a really bad situation, not a lot of people could have come in politically and figured all this crap out. He did lie about a bunch of things. The Obamacare thing is kind of shaky, but a lot of people think history hasn't been fully written on that yet. He promised to get out of Afghanistan. Okay, whatever. That's a debacle that he didn't start. But a lot of people vote on whether or not you're a smooth motherfucker. That's how Kennedy got in. Kennedy got in, because he looked smoother than Nixon. In their debate, Nixon was sweating like fucking Wolfirk in the fucking football game. That guy, by the way, is it Vince Wilfork on the Patriots? That's a big motherfucker. Yeah. That guy's a professional athlete. He is enormous. Someone should deflate him before they get. But it's so obvious right now. And again, Bill Maher makes all these great points. And this one I think is true because Obama's black. The subtle racism that happens in the House of Representatives and the Senate. And the press, people treat Obama way more disrespectfully than they have any other president, and especially on the right wing and in the press. And I think that's because if they are right wing and Republican, they're pandering to these racist constituents that they have, and they're trying to say, "Look, I'm with you guys. I can't come right out and say it. I can't burn a cross and wear a sheet." But you guys vote, and I'm with you by disrespecting this guy like no other president gets disrespected. This guy Boehner, who is the Senate Majority Leader, he stands behind. He's the Speaker of the House, and he stands behind. He sits by. Is he the Senate Majority Leader?
Speaker of the House.
Just the Speaker of the House. Yeah. Boehner is the Speaker of the House, and he's a Republican, right wing guy. He sits behind. The president at the State of the Union, the Speaker of the House, and of course the Vice President does. And look, I realize he doesn't agree with a lot of things, but God, when Obama brings up something that this guy Boehner disagrees with or is not,
he does double dicks behind him, right in his face.
I mean, he might as well. He might as well. The look on his face is insane. And Obama brings up the environment, everybody in the place is clapping. Sometimes Biden looks like an idiot sometimes because he gets up and gives him a standing ovation, and Boehner's sitting there like he's watching his dog get raped. And it's really funny, but Obama really doesn't get the respect a lot of different presidents have gotten. But Bill Maher, gave Obama $1 million, so he has to speak up at this stuff. And it is funny the way he just like, I guess if he was white, you would do this. I get it. Yeah, Boehner, you don't care about the environment. I guess the world isn't getting hotter. Yeah, you're the smart one, I guess. So I'm actually looking forward to Bill Maher's show about the State of the Union. Do you watch the State of the Union, Chris?
Sometimes I watch a little bit of everything, dude. It depends on whatever on that day.
It's good for material. I
knew something was wrong with how he was treating Obama when they kept saying, "Hey, you over there."
I know. Some
hey,
people
over there.
Some people get right in his face. Some people will get physical with him almost. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. That was interesting about that speech last night. That Boehner, the Speaker of the House, would just blatantly looks at him like fuck you. I'm not. Not only am I not with you, I'm not giving you a thing. I'm not even respecting the office of president. And then another thing Obama does is he signs autographs afterwards. I know a lot of different presidents might have done that. But Obama takes it to another level. Obama's like Nicki Minaj or something after a concert. He starts signing people's ties. And what were these crazy motherfuckers they let into the State of the Union? It looks like crazy fans who waited outside online at a book signing for the Insane Clown Posse. They look like the Juggalos. It looks like the Juggalos, waiting for an autograph. They practically have painted faces, and Obama's signing their foreheads. He almost signed a breast, for Christ's sake.
That's kind of cool though. I ain't gonna lie. I want a president who's about signing tits a little bit.
Well, listen, I want a president who's honest at least. Johnny Avello. So yeah, he's our guest, the director of sports at Wynn Las Vegas. I'm going to ask him about the prop bets. I'm going to ask him. He's a great guest, by the way. Really, really cool. Old school type Vegas guy, and we'll get into the deflated football thing with him.
How old school? Not let me in old school, or
no. You would, as long as you sat in a certain area.
More recent school than that.
Yeah,
cool. So he's right after Money is Green. He's Money is Green school.
Green's the only thing that matters down at the hood. But again, it's a certain type of seating, but you could sit. No, he's obviously a great guy and East Coast kind of a guy. But we're going to ask him about the prop bets, and we'll try to talk to him again right before the Super Bowl, because right now, everyone, of course, because I'm so hot with my locks of the week, everyone, of course,
Artie's lock of the week,
looking for Artie Lang's lock of the week. And right now, I gotta say, I like the over. I go the way the Seahawks. Okay, Sherman is hurt. Let's go over this. It's 48.5. Okay, Sherman is hurt on Seattle, and he's a lights out corner, man. Yeah. Basically, Sherman. Who do you think Sherman would be on? What receiver would they just put him on for the Pats? Because he's lights out.
Maybe Edelman or Amendola.
Okay, I would say Edelman's a pain in the ass, but I don't know if he's worth Sherman's time. Amendola, I think, is more. Well, listen,
or LaFell. I mean, they're all pretty good.
The bottom line is, whoever you put, if he's healthy, you put Sherman on a guy, he's not in the game. That's how good of a corner he is.
What's wrong with Sherman?
He
elbow.
They thought he broke his arm. He didn't, but he's got a sprained elbow. He's not 100%. The guy's a gamer, I'm sure.
I would say, you still put him in.
I think he'll go in, but I think he'll go in. Is he 100%, though?
I think he could be shut down with a fucking elbow. You can still be shut down.
Yeah, you never know. These guys, it's a rough game. And if I'm the Pats, I'm going at his elbow, man.
I mean, according to their track record, they don't mind.
Belichick doesn't care.
Belichick sweeps the knee every time.
Give Wolfert a machete. Just have him cut him down at the knees. So Sherman is not healthy, which makes that defense a lot different. That defense played like shit. And Wilson, as we could tell, when he gets going with that offense is great. Lynch is great. Wilson great. So you look at that, and then you look at how the Pats offense is playing. Deflated or not, he's still throwing these passes. He's throwing dimes, and they're still the Patriots. So I like 48.5 might be my early lock. I don't love the line. The line's basically a pick 'em at minus. Pat's favored minus 1.5. It's basically a pick 'em. I don't like that at all. I don't like either team. I like 48.5 for my lock right now. Could change. Is the over. Chris, your thoughts?
I'm going to have to agree with you, because I'm sitting here thinking it could definitely end 20 going to overtime 24-24 easily.
Yeah, well, there you go. That happens. Even a safety, you're winning.
Yeah.
So never been an overtime Super Bowl, by the way. Those odds are always great. That's a great prop bet. The odds are always heavy on will it go into overtime. And
I think this one can go to OT.
I can't believe there's never been an overtime. I mean, think about it. How many have there been? Almost 50, right? There's 49. This is Super Bowl 49. There's almost been 50 years of Super Bowls, and we don't have an overtime game yet. Something else that was great about on Fox News right after the State of the Union. Fox basically, they're not subtle about the fact that they're anti-Obama. They had a woman on who's a senator from Iowa, who gave a speech into the camera. Her name is Joni Ernst. Joni Ernst. She could not. She looks like she's a 1950s housewife in Iowa. And she was one of these people that wants, those old time values back. And she's so blood curdling annoying. You just want to smack her. And Dan watches this. You watch this like Ignatius O'Reilly in the Confederacy of Dunces. You scream at the oh my God, you're terrible. Yeah, sure, cunt. Sure. Like, what happened the time you bankrupt this company? And that's what Dan does. He screams at the mic. He screams at the TV. I just like it because I like goofing on politicians in general who just bullshit you. But listen to this woman Listen to this woman speak again. This is after the State of the Union. This is Joni Ernst, senator from Iowa.
Good evening. I'm Joni Ernst. As a mother, a soldier, and a newly elected senator from the great state of Iowa, I am proud to speak with you tonight. A few moments ago, we heard the president lay out his vision for the year to come. Even if we may not always agree, it's important to hear different points of view in this great country.
Especially
we
from the
appreciate
blacks.
the president sharing his. Tonight, though, rather than respond to a speech, I'd like to talk about your priorities. I'd like to have a conversation about the new Republican Congress you just elected.
I'd like some black
and how
tack.
you plan to make Washington focus on your concerns again. We heard the message you sent in November, loud and clear.
She's such a horrible
And
dick.
now
You
we're
can just
getting
tell.
to
You
work
just
to
tell by
change the
tone.
direction Washington has been taking our country. The new Republican Congress also understands how difficult these past 6 years have been. For many of us, the sting of the economy and the frustration
Baby.
with Washington's
Play name is
dysfunction weren't things we had to read about. We felt them every day. We felt them in Red Oak, the little town in southwestern Iowa where I grew up and am still proud to call home today. As a young girl, I plowed the fields of our family
You got
farm.
plowed, all right.
I worked construction
I got
with
plowed.
my dad.
I
To
got
save
plowed
for
in the
college,
fields.
I worked the morning biscuit line at Hardee's. We were raised to live
Take that stuff from the
simply,
background
not
out.
to waste.
James.
It was a lesson my mother taught me every rainy morning. You see, growing up, I had only one good pair of shoes. So on rainy school days, my
listen to
mom
this,
would
listen to
slip
this.
plastic bread bags over them to keep them dry. But I was never embarrassed because the school bus
Clearly.
would be filled with rows and rows of young Iowans with bread bags slipped over their feet. Our parents may not have had much, but they worked hard for what they did have.
You bread bag bitch.
These
Shut up.
days, though, many families feel like they're working harder and harder with less and less to show for it. Not just in Red Oak, but across the country. We see our neighbors agonize over stagnant wages and lost jobs. We see the hurt caused by canceled healthcare plans and higher monthly insurance bills. We see too many moms and
I guess you're
dads
hurt.
put their own dreams on hold while growing more fearful about the kind of future they'll be able to leave to their children.
You got to see what this woman looks like, too. She
Americans
looks like a
have
nun.
been hurting, but when we demanded solutions too often, Washington responded with the same stale mindset that led to failed policies like Obamacare. It's a mindset that gave us political talking points, not serious solutions. That's why the new Republican majority you elected started by reforming Congress to make it function again.
I want
and
to
now
kiss you.
we're working hard to pass the kind of serious job creation ideas you deserve.
I want to
One you've
kiss you.
probably heard about is the Keystone Jobs Bill. President Obama has been
I don't care if
delaying
the
this
country's struggling.
bipartisan
I couldn't care
infrastructure
less
project
about the
for
team
years,
struggling.
even though many members of his party, unions, and a strong majority of Americans support it. The president's
porn
own
music.
State Department has said Keystone's construction could support thousands of jobs and pump billions into our economy, and do it with minimal environmental impact. We worked with Democrats to pass this bill through the House. We're doing the same now in the Senate. President Obama will soon have a decision to make. Will he sign the bill?
Will he fuck my ass or
bluff
pussy?
Good American
Somebody order a large
jobs.
pizza.
I didn't call Connor.
There's a lot we can achieve if we work together. Let's tear down trade barriers in places
Oh, this
like
bitch don't
Europe
shut up.
and the
She's
Pacific.
Got the yaps.
Let's
She's a
sell
yapper.
By the way,
more
she
of
left
what
this
we
on the
make
Artie
and
Quitter
grow
podcast
in
phone.
America over there.
This is a
So
voicemail.
we can boost manufacturing wages
Is this Chelsea?
and jobs right here
Where's
at
her ass
home.
shot?
Let's simplify America's outdated and loophole-ridden tax code. Republicans think tax filing should be easier for
filibuster?
you,
What the fuck
not
is she
just the
talking so long
well-connected.
for?
So let's iron out loopholes to lower rates and create jobs, not pay for more
I love the idea Joe
government
Namath
spending.
cheering her on.
The president has already expressed some support for these kinds of ideas. We're calling on him now to cooperate to pass them. You'll see a lot of serious work in this new Congress. Some of it will occur where I stand tonight, in the Armed Services Committee room. This is where I'll join committee colleagues, Republicans and Democrats, to discuss ways to support our exceptional military and its mission. This is where we'll debate strategies to confront terrorism.
That was Dianne Feinstein,
and
by
the
the way.
threats posed by Al-Qaeda, ISIL, and those radicalized by them.
Al-Qaeda.
We know threats
ISIL.
like these can't just be wished away. We've been reminded of terrorism's reach, both at home and abroad.
Terrorism's reach.
Most recently in France and Nigeria, but also in places like Canada and Australia.
Nigeria, the black
Our
cock
hearts
capital
go out to
of
all
the world.
innocent victims of terrorism
Thank
and
God.
their
Okay,
loved
shut her up.
ones.
Jesus Christ. That was right after the state. These people are living in like the 1950s, a fantasy world. Oh my God. Oh God, that woman is hilarious.
She's terrible. She would just annoy you at the airport too. She's like an annoying airport bitch.
Excuse me, can I talk to you for a minute while you're waiting for your luggage? Can I talk to you for a bit? Can I go over some Republican values with you? Anyway, so that's Joni Ernst. Check her out if you want. Check her website out. It's fantastic. It's really nothing but fun. And she did, again, Joni, stop calling the voicemail line. You're clogging it up. Speaking of which, there's a guy who left a bunch of voicemails right in a row. This guy does characters and impressions, each one worse than the other. They're so horrible, but he left like 20 of them, and I got to tell you, they had me laughing so hard because of how bad they are. But this kid's commitment is insane. He must have sat there for 2 hours and left these messages. Let's hear some of this.
Hello, Artie. It's Mickey now. Oh, I love the new podcast. It sounds so great. M-I-C-K-E, M-I-U-S-E, bye-bye.
That's it.
What the fuck is wrong?
Hey, let's listen.
Who goes with Donald Duck?
Here we go.
The worst
It's
Donald Duck.
just ramping up.
Hi, Artie. I just want to say I love the show. I think it's great. And I'm just a little worried about you. You know, you've been having so many women problem in your life. I think it's time you really need a man. Because you're really a man's man. You need someone to spoon with and they could twirl your finger in your nice hairy chest. You know, and afterwards we're going to play baseball. Because you love that kind of stuff.
Yeah!
You know, women,
I love that kind of stuff.
they haven't been good to you.
What?
You just need a man, and I love your show. Keep doing it, my friend.
Okay, thank you. That was great encouragement. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Hi, Artie. I'm like the #1 fan.
What?
And, he's just a great
Buffalo
person.
Bill.
I've just been depressed for a long time. The past few years now. Life's feeling not that great, being depressed.
Same guy.
And I know I just know you've done so much for people. I was wondering, maybe I also live in New Jersey. If you could do a comedy benefit show for me, help me fight my depression. I'm just I still live with my mom. I don't have a job. But if you could do a comedy show for me to help raise money, fight my depression.
Jesus.
I just think that's the only way I could read it. If you raise, even if you raise $50,000, oh man, just do wonders for me. I think I could beat the depression with that. Probably, even if it was more, I don't even put it in imagine. I'd be happy. I'd just be happy. So, I know you do a lot of benefit shows for people that are in need, that are sick, and just not doing well in life. So, I'm reaching out to you.
I couldn't care.
To do the show for
I
me.
couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Will be depression. It's a real disease. I don't want to work. I don't want to shit. Oh man, just do it for me, man.
It's like he's jerking
You're the
off.
greatest. We all love you. And just help me, man. Let's do this. Thank you so much. Bye.
Talk about no self-awareness at all. Go ahead.
How you doing, Artie? It's Derek Jeter, man. How you doing? I just want to congratulate you on your new podcast and best of luck.
It's Derek Jeter.
Thanks for coming to the game. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, G.
It's the worst impression. He just went, "Hey, Artie, it's Derek Jeter." Hey, Artie. Hey, do you think he runs that by his friends? Like, guys, listen to this. What do you think? Who am I doing right now? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Artie? Who's this? Right, you guessed it, Derek Jeter. You guessed it. I'm doing Derek Jeter. I'm going to call in. Hey, Artie, it's Derek Jeter. Man, I don't know. I know it's uncanny. It's uncanny. It's really me, Derek Jeter.
How you doing, Artie? It's Derek Jeter, man.
Hey, keep that as a joke. Okay, next one. It's the same guy. Next one.
Mr. Arthur Lang, I am just disgusted in you. You're a degenerate gambler, piece of filth. I've been listening to your podcast, and I just can't take it anymore. For someone to say they don't like dogs, they don't want to eat because they don't want dog hair, it's despicable. You don't mind your big fat belly in there, your big hairy chest in your food. But how can someone not like dogs? I just don't understand it. You're a despicable human. I hope one day you're in a desert all alone and you see a dog and that dog runs away, you piece of crap. And you're left there alone. You don't like dogs. You're so fucking macho. Oh, I don't like dogs. I don't like dogs. I never heard of that. You piece of garbage.
It's Derek Jeter. Hey, Artie, it's Derek Jeter again. What's up? Thanks for coming to the games.
Wouldn't it be funny if Derek Jeter's dog called in?
Yeah, it's Derek Jeter. It's me and my dog. Go ahead, next one.
Ruff, I'm Derek Jeter's dog.
Hey, Artie, big fan. You ever hear the song by Sammy Hagar? You know, the one's like, I can drive 55. It's a fucking song, man. You know, in New Jersey, Turnpike, the speed limit's 65 miles per hour. What the fuck?
He's doing a bit.
You know, what do you think? You think he should re-record that song? It makes no fucking sense. It should be at least 75 now. What do you think?
What? He's doing crowd work. Nobody's there.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Artie, it's me, Don Corleone. I want to wish you success on your new podcast.
Same kid.
With all three. It lasts a long time. Thanks for all the movie references. And have a good day.
These came in one after the other, like within 20 minutes of it, just one after the other.
Jesus
Go ahead.
Christ.
Go ahead.
Hi, Artie. It's Kathleen Turner. The Little Man's in the Stone. Congratulations on your new podcast. Bye.
That was a quick one. Hi, Artie. It's Kathleen. It's Derek Jeter and Kathleen Turner. Artie, this is Derek Jeter, and I'm fucking Kathleen Turner. Hi, Artie. I'm fucking Derek Jeter. There's more, right? Okay, keep going.
Hello, Artie. It's Antonio Banderas. Just wishing that you do a podcast that says success for us, my movie Zorro. Bye.
It's Antonio Banderas.
The stars come out, baby.
Listen, I'm a big deal. I'm so happy. It's Antonio Banderas.
That's the worst Antonio Banderas I've ever heard.
It's not even the worst anything I've ever heard. Go ahead, keep going.
Artie, it's Johnny Depp. Podcast
sounds like Kathleen Turner.
Keep up the good work.
Johnny Depp. Hey, guys, great. You know I do that great Johnny Depp impression. You know the great Johnny Depp impression I do. Yeah, well, I do it sometimes. We're playing poker. Yeah, I'm thinking. I got a great idea. I'm gonna call Artie Lang's podcast, and I'll do my Jeter. What should I do? I'll do my Jeter. Yeah, you're right, Tony. I'll do my Kathleen Turner. Jeter. That's a good idea. Let me write that down. I'll do Kathleen Turner. I'll do Jeter, and I'll. Johnny Depp is a home run, right? I'll just do Johnny Depp. Go ahead.
Hey, Artie. It's Dwight Evans. Sitting here in Florida fishing. Listening to your podcast. Sounds great. Keep it up. Go Red Sox.
Dwight Evans was on the Red Sox in the 70s and 80s.
He's so young.
I love the reference. I got to hand it to this guy. Hey, Artie, it's Dwight Evans. I'm fishing in Florida. Anything else?
Hi, this is Rob Lowe. And this is Wigger Rob Lowe.
Hey, motherfucker. Motherfucker, who you think you is, man? Give me that motherfucking TV before I fucking shoot your motherfucking ass.
Don't be like that, Rob Lowe. Stay home. Listen to the Artie Quitter podcast.
He got one that you wanted
doing
in there.
Both voices. I know.
He did Wiggle Rob Lowe.
He's doing both voices. He went from Rob Lowe to Wigger Rob Lowe. All right, let's. How many more are there?
At least 900.
Okay, give me a couple more.
This is Freddy Krueger. And I've been watching you, Artie, in your dreams. You queer. Every dream you're sucking cock or fucking some guy. It makes me want to poke my outies out with my scissor hands. One of these days I'll get you fag.
That's homophobic Freddy Krueger. Go ahead, plow through him here.
Yo, motherfucker, man. This is Pepper Johnson for John. Motherfucker, man. Somebody say you been talking for some fucking shit about me, man. Man, what the fuck you care about this lots of Wonder Bread I've been with? Man, just don't fucking talk about me, man. Who's the beast you think you is, bitch? I ain't beast talking about you. Why beast you talking about me? You know? So fucking just cut the fucking shit, man. Come on, fucking hear your fucking name again. Don't fucking say my name, motherfucker.
Pepper, of course, it's topical for the show. I told the Pepper Johnson story, and that's another great impression.
Listen, he's good.
Should I do? Yeah, I'll do my Pepper Johnson. That's a good idea, right? Go ahead.
Pepper Johnson.
Oh, Harper Lang. I just love your podcast. It's me, Meryl Streep. 500 times Academy Award. Oh, I just started laughing when you listen to your podcast. But I see you being league, but you're acting just so much. One day we should get together. I'll give you a couple pointers, but keep up the good work with the podcast. Bye.
I saw Beer League.
Meryl Streep, baby.
I saw Beer League.
At my window. Hey, Artie, it's me, Melissa Etheridge. I was just thinking about you. I heard you got a good window view, too, where you're at. How about it? Good luck with the podcast. Stand by my window.
Oh, it's amazing. It's me.
Hi, Artie. It's Chaz Bono. Thanks for all the support in the gay community. I love your new podcast. Thanks again. I'm just going to have to go spackle some walls. My house is a mess. Thanks. Bye.
His house is a mess. It's me, Derek
Howdy
Jeter.
there, Artie. Well, this is lovely podcast. Can't get over it. I was just trying to find it. You got a black guy on your staff called Cotton. Ain't nobody call him a cotton-picking nigger. That's the funniest joke I ever heard. What? I ain't even no comedian. What do I tell you? My grandfather told me a good joke once. It goes like this. He says, how come black people only have nightmares? Because the only one that had a dream got shot.
What?
There you go, buddy.
Should have played this on MLK Day. We didn't know.
That would have been appropriate. How many more?
That was his closer?
Two more. Okay, we might as well plow through them. Go ahead.
What was his character just now? Who was he? Just racist white guy?
Racist white guy, yeah.
Right.
Generic racist white guy.
Cool.
If you think I'm sexy, come and touch my body. Artie. Hi, Artie. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Artie, I'm just sitting here twerking all day, man. Just fucking moving this fucking thing. You know, and it came to my mind. I never once heard you fucking talk about dancing or fucking moving your fucking little fat ass. You know, you guys, all you fucking guys there, you need to fucking loosen up. I want you to fucking take your fucking coats off. I'm putting them fucking shirts. Get on your fucking living room floor and fucking start twerking. Come on, Artie. There'd be nothing better than to see you fucking twerk. You too, fucking Matarese. Take that fucking stick out of your ass, you uptight fucking ass, and fucking twerk. Come on. Do, 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 do. And come on, Chris Cotton. Oh boy, I know you fucking move. You're black, so you fucking gotta twerk that motherfucking thing. Even if it can be fucking hard. Come on, guys, all of you, just fucking loosen up. Let's have some fucking fun on this show. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Loosen up.
Come on, Chris, beatbox. Artie, move it. Do, 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 do. Twerk it, baby.
Loosen up. Let's have some fucking fun on this. Go ahead, that last one.
Hey, Artie, I'm a fucking big fan, man. I hear you letting people come up and check out the podcast, man. I'd fucking love to come up there, man. And I got a great fucking idea. Like that bit you were talking about, or the story where they brought that guy to Vegas like they were gonna fucking kill him. Dude, I'll come up on one condition. You gotta keep this on the low. I'm fucking gonna come, I'm gonna dress like a fucking Arab. I have a fucking towel on my head and shit. And then I fucking come up, I'll just be quiet, I'm fucking weird. And then I fucking pull a fucking Uzi out and pretend I'm fucking shooting everybody.
What?
Fucking, especially fucking Matarese, man. That motherfucker got kids. Dude, we'll just see who the fucking biggest pussy is and who fucking cries, man. It'd be fucking great. We gotta fucking do it.
What?
That's the only way I'll do it, man. We
That's his
gotta fucking
idea?
do that.
That's his idea.
Let me know.
I'll let you know.
I think we'll pass.
Listen, I'm getting back to you on that Arab bit where you shoot everybody, especially Matarese because he has fucking kids. Do we want to meet this guy? Should we let him come on? Part of me wants to meet this guy. Oh, God. Well, dude, keep calling with the characters. That's all I could say. That's endless entertainment.
How you doing, Artie? It's Derek Jeter, man.
You know what? We can only be so lucky if Derek Jeter were that entertaining.
Dude, that's fun.
Derek Jeter's a bore. This is my favorite Derek Jeter. All right, listen, we got to take a break. We've done an hour here. The great Johnny Avello, the director of the Wynn Sportsbook in Las Vegas, is going to talk Super Bowl gambling, crazy bets, under-overs, and national anthems, first half, under-overs, field goals. We'll talk all that bullshit. Under-over on Gronkowski's yards and TD receptions, blah, 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 and the deflated football Patriot scandal. We'll get into it with the great John Avello and wrap this up. The Artie Quitter Podcast. Chris Cotton's here.
Cotton 215. I'm just going to say it a lot. I like saying it a lot.
Well, say it because that's all you fucking young comics do nowadays. You get out your fucking Twitter.
Dude, the Twitter is hot.
I know, I hear you. You guys getting laid, and I'm watching Biography with Dan. All right. Back after this. John, it's Artie. How are you, man?
Hey, Artie. How are you?
Good. We're not recording you. I'm just saying hi. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, you too. So this is a new gig here, huh?
Yeah, I got my own podcast here, and it's truly uncensored. I got no corporate BS in my ear. So
I know. I know you like that.
I do. But we appreciate having you on, man. You're always one of my favorite guests. Hey, welcome back to the Artie Quitter podcast with Chris Cotton today.
Hey, what up?
Matarese taking care of his children. My favorite guest arguably my favorite guest on my DirecTV show was this next guy. He is the executive director of race and I want to ask him about it, but definitely of the sports book and race at Wynn's Hotel in Las Vegas. And Wynn Hotel is amazing in Vegas, and this guy is the head of the sports book, and his name is John Avello. John, what's up, man?
Hey, Artie, you know what that means, don't you?
I was going to say, you're the head of race, and what does that mean, race?
That means I decide which ethnic groups can come into town.
That's what we thought. Okay, were you really my co-host is African American, so he was wondering about
So hopefully I can get in if it's all right with you.
Well, we'll see. Get on my good side. Get on my good side, Chris. We'll see.
As an Italian, I hope I'm a lock, so I don't know.
You're in good shape.
John, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast. I really appreciate it. You're the best, and there's so much to talk about. We're going to talk, obviously, pro football here. First of all, I just got handed this. Let's get right to Deflategate, as they're calling it. The Ravens are now complaining. They believe that the footballs were tampered with in their playoff game at home in New England against the Patriots. I don't know why every team that they lost to at home wouldn't chime in this year and say the same thing, but Matt Leinart, the quarterback, Matt Leinart, just tweeted that every home team tampers with the footballs. This is ridiculous and blown out of proportion. What's your thoughts on this?
Both teams actually have the opportunity to play with the deflated ball if, in fact, it was deflated. But what it does, Artie, it sets up a good prop for me.
Right.
It sets up a good proposition. Like, I think I'll put up a proposition like, what will be more, fumbles lost in a game or the amount of pounds pressure taken out of the ball?
Well, you know what? Listen, you're joking, but I've seen crazier props. I think you just said something interesting. Both teams have the opportunity to play with a deflated ball.
Yeah, I mean, so it's obviously would help both sides. I don't see how it would favor, unless Tom Brady's a master at playing with a deflated ball, but I don't think so.
So that's interesting. So this is being blown out of proportion.
I think so. I don't know what it means to play with it. But let's say on a cold day, that if the ball's a little deflated, you get a better grip on it. A better
grip. To me, it helps the receivers more than anything. And maybe it's easier to grip it and throw a ball, but I think you could lose some control on the pass if you could grip it too tight. I mean, they're claiming for the offensive team it's an insane advantage. And I was wondering if you had information, if you knew that only one team on offense was playing with a deflated ball, would that affect the line to you in a big way?
It would only affect the line because I knew that they deflated the ball.
Right.
That's as far as knowing what deflation means in a ball, that would mean nothing to me.
Well, it helps a lot.
Artie, what I was thinking in your car when you drive and when it's warm weather, none of your lights go on, but then when it gets cold, in my car I have this sensor that goes on because it says that the tires are low on air.
Right.
And so when it gets cold sometimes, I think the air itself just comes out of something that's inflated.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I mean, it's been, the Northeast has been bitter cold, and I'm in Jersey, North Jersey by New York City, and they're up in New England, which is even colder. So maybe that happened too. I mean, they were pointing to the fact that Luck and the offense for the Colts had an awful game, out of their character. But maybe, as a young kid, he just had a bad game. So what you're saying and what Matt Leinart's saying is pretty bad for the Patriots. It sounds like they're getting screwed. If they lose a draft pick and get fined, they're really they're the ones who are getting screwed over here, right?
Yeah, I mean, a rule's a rule. I mean, sometimes the Colts could have played with a ball with no air in it, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
I agree. I think they had a bad game. I think Luck is going to be the class of this league going into it. He could be another John Elway type guy, but he got beat by the better team and the old pro and a better coach in this game, and they were on the road, and they got outclassed.
Yeah, I agree with you on Luck. I mean, out of all the quarterbacks I've seen over the last 5-7 years, the new guys coming into the league, he really looks the part of a pro quarterback. If you're going to use the Brady and the Manning and the Drew Brees and the Aaron Rodgers mold, he looks that part.
And as the director of race, of course, he's white as well. I know you're saying that.
Always a plus.
Chris, what do you think about this? You were about to say something.
When it comes to the grip of the ball, cause like I said, I used to be a center. When it is a little more deflated, I mean, you don't want it, of course, soft. You don't want it to be like a fucking baked potato on it. But you want it to have a little grip. The exchange from center to quarterback is a lot easier. The exchange, when the quarterback actually grabs the ball, he can get a good grab on it. He can get a good throw.
But I understand. So you're saying it's an advantage. But what John is saying is either team could have done it. Either team could have done it.
Well, not really. When you're at home, and this is true. Like even this is sad, but even in high school, I remember the coach was like, "Look, when we go away, he would have the balls like during practice. He would inflate them to the point where they were like rocks, and we would practice. And if it was like a rainy situation, he would wet the ball and all that stuff, and we would practice like that. But then if we were home, the ball situation was always taken care of. We never had to think about how the ball would feel.
John, ultimately, your opinion is it's not a big. It's a scandal that's being blown out of proportion.
Well, you know something, guys. The referee probably touches the ball as much as the quarterback.
That's another great point. Yeah, why didn't they notice it? Yeah,
he was in on it. That's what.
Is that what you were saying? Is that what you think? That the ref should have noticed this? John?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys should have noticed it. Hey, this ball's a little soft.
Right. Okay. I agree with you there too. It doesn't make. I mean, we were thinking maybe the ball boys or one of the refs got into the fellas for some money, and they did what they had to do here. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
It had to be a joint thing because he's right. I didn't think about that. The ball boy gives the ball to the ref, of course, and the refs will be like, this isn't good. They can swap them out whenever.
Let's talk prop bets, John. We'll see how that plays out. But, of course, the media and the 24-hour news cycle, even in sports at ESPN, they got to harp on this scandal. I think it's going to go away, and I think especially if the Patriots win their fourth Super Bowl with Brady and Belichick, people are going to forget about this pretty quickly. Okay. First of all, I don't know if you have this, but I noticed in the Daily News or the Post, one of the papers in New York today, had an under-over on the time it's going to take for Idina Menzel to sing the national anthem. They have it at 122 and a half seconds. That seems low to me. I like the over. Your thoughts on this?
I would go over that, too, because and we don't have that bet up, by the way. Our game and control board makes us put up things that no one has control over.
Right, that's what. Yeah.
And Idina has control over this. She can go long or she can go short. Now, if you know the way Idina Menzel sings, is that she holds her notes much longer than others do.
That's what I love that you have to know this, but go ahead.
But so I agree with you on this, Artie, that I believe it will go over because of the way that she, her control of a note and how she strings it out.
That's 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes and 2.5 seconds. I mean, a pop song's 3 minutes. I thought, especially with the way they hold notes, it's easily over 2 minutes. I like the over there big time. If I can find a bookie to take that bet, that might be my lock of the week.
Why don't you parlay it with don't they do some, we don't do this either, the color of the Gatorade or something like that?
Well, you know what they're doing? The color of, what color hoodie is Belichick going to wear, gray or blue? They have odds on both of that, too. And, of course, that's something someone can really control. So I was going to ask you that. I thought I knew this answer for sure, but obviously, if someone has control over something, you can't put it up as a line, right?
No, you can't. Now, we've been talking to our game and control board about doing some different things. We've never been able to do the Heisman Trophy. This year they allowed me to do Horse of the Year, which I did put up. That's voted on. And we all know that boxing is voted on.
Right.
But the game and control board now is we had a meeting with them last week, and I think they're going to give us a little more leeway on some things to do, as long as we can show them how the results are compiled and that we won't have it up after someone knows the votes are in. We won't have it up at that point. So I think we have a chance to do some new things here.
What about
in town?
What about the Academy Awards? Do you do that?
That's something. I have that up now, and I've been doing that for over 20 years. But that's not something that's betting takes place on. I do it for entertainment purposes and have for all these years.
Oh, okay, for entertainment purposes. All right. You seem like such a busy guy. I'd think you wouldn't want to even bother with stuff where
I
you're
got
not.
to do the dog show. That's coming up too. I got to do the Westminster Dog Show.
Oh God, dude!
I got to do that soon here. 175 dogs or so. I got a handicap.
You are a busy guy, man. You are. Hey, listen. Let's go first half under over 24.5. I like the over. I like the over in the game too at 48.5. Do you have 24 on a hook there for the first half? I like the over.
We have 24 over minus 120, so we don't have the hook.
Okay.
And our total for the whole game is 49. Yeah, this game is in Arizona. The weather's going to be nice. There's no way the weather can't be nice because they'll close that. They have a roof they can close.
Yep.
So there's no issues with weather at all. Yes, Seattle has a good defense, but most of that defense is when it's really good, it's at home. When it's on the road, it's maybe a couple of notches not as good. And the Patriots, I don't know if there's any defense stops them anyway.
And then look,
I think both teams should score.
Yeah, and Seattle played. I do. I'm on the over for both the first half and the total for the full game. But Seattle had a shit game defensively last week. What do you hear about Sherman and his injury?
I hear that he's going to play. What is he? Is he 100%? I don't know. But even if he's 75 or 80, that's good enough. Leg wise, he'll be fine. I think it's most to do with the arms, and as long as he can move those arms, he has 80% movement. I think he's going to be fine.
That guy's a gamer. I think obviously he's definitely going to play, but you never know how an athlete feels if he's not 100%. 100%, obviously the guy's best in the business. But like you said, if he's 70%, doesn't tell anybody he's only 70% and plays, it could affect the game. We were talking about this before. Who do you think they put him on? What receiver on the patch? Because obviously, if he's on, he's lights out and he just blocks out a receiver for the game. Who do you think they put him on for the Patriots?
Well, Jordy Nelson's always he's always a big producer in a game, but there's just they have so many guys that they can get you with. I think Jordy Nelson's where they're going to go, but I don't know. Cobb's another guy. He's one of those two guys.
Isn't Jordy
those guys, between those two guys, they're probably going to catch in this game. Look, what am I talking about?
Yeah, I just say right, exactly. No, I know Jordy Nelson are Packers.
Not Jordy. Yeah, I'm on the wrong team. I'm thinking,
that's okay. I give you respect. You're a busy guy, but I'm saying like we were talking about.
Maybe good. I don't know if he's not a Gronkowski guy because he's deep. Gronkowski's going to be more more stuff. Within. He's going to be more stuff within 10 to 15-yard kind of stuff. Sherman plays a little bit deeper, so I don't think that's the guys will be covering. But they have guys like your Edelmans, and all these guys are real short-time receivers.
They are.
So that's what makes the Patriots really difficult to defend. All that stuff, those quick crossing patterns, those little 6-yard guys where they let the receivers do all the work. They don't look for stuff way down the field, and that's where Sherman's probably the most effective.
Like scat play type guys, like a Dave Meggett type. That's what Edelman reminds me of. And you're right. That's another reason they're tough to defend. That's another reason I do like the over. And they throw a lot of slant passes. And Gronkowski's not a guy that you're going to put Sherman on. And I agree with you. That it makes me like the over even more. What about that? I saw this in the AFC Championship game. What I saw was 79.5 was the under-over on yards Gronkowski would have in passing. Do you have a line for Gronkowski's? First of all, receptions under-over, yards, and TDs.
TDs, you can't go more than one. Right. So the question is, will he score one or not one? So that'll be the prop on that one, and probably to score one is probably going to be close to a pick, I would say, maybe a slight favorite. Catches on him probably 5.5, maybe.
Okay,
somewhere in that number. So,
interesting.
And then yards. I'd say right around that 70 to 75 range sounds about right.
Wow.
You can't go much more than that.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many weapons that these guys use. There's just so many different options that he has.
I think Gronkowski definitely scores a TD. I think I do, and I think because they like going to him. It's he's almost like the fridge in '85. Like he's a guy you want to see score. And I think Belichick has a little bit of a flair for the Hollywood stuff, as does Kraft.
He didn't have a lot of receptions against the Colts, but that kind of game was out of hand, so he didn't need to. I think he only had about 3 maybe in the game, but he did have a touchdown, and I think he's had a touchdown in each of the probably last 3 games.
Definitely,
maybe
he did.
Definitely one.
Yeah,
and I think if they're in that time frame, he's averaging 5 to 6 regular season. I'd say I don't think he's had a touchdown every game, but probably 3/4 of the games already. So that's why if he's got a touchdown 3/4 of the game, it's hard to make him the favorite to get one. Especially and you're going against his defense. And in regular season, if you divide how many games, he's probably a 5. I say he's a average 5 catch a game guy. So all those stats are probably, and we're going basically on stats for the year. Of course, you got to handicap this particular game just a little bit different.
Right. I like getting the odds there. That's why I think being an underdog there for him scoring a TD, I like that action. Now, what about
there's a bunch of guys that we can definitely make some good props with here. I mean, this team's loaded. We had the same with the Broncos last year. Another team that's got just has a bunch of players that you can use,
right.
And the same's going to happen with New England. Now, all I have to do for Seattle this year is take my sheets from last year and kind of use a lot of the same guys because it basically is a lot of the same guys.
It is, yeah. What about under over on Tom Brady TD passes?
That's probably going to be like 1.5. And over the favorite. So I'd say 1.5 and over maybe -170.
Oh,
somewhere
God.
in that range.
I like the over in that. See, I'm shaking from that. What do you think about that, Chris? He's going to have 2 touchdown passes, right, Chris?
Yeah, I think he should at least get 3.
Well, he's got him 1.5. I like that. You love bets like that because that's a sucker bet. I think a lot of people get lured into it, and then before you know it, he's got 1. But
he's got a lot of good. He does use a lot of guys out of the. I mean, he could use Blunt could get a touchdown or 2, right?
Right.
Close to the goal line, so therefore he never gets that opportunity to throw the ball because he lets his running back take it in. Quarterback sneak, that could that doesn't count towards throwing touchdowns.
Right.
Now if you go Tom Brady total touchdowns, passes and rushing, and possibly maybe that number has to be a little bit higher. But there's other ways to get that ball in the end zone besides him throwing it.
What's the under-over, if you happen to know or could guess, in field goals for the whole game? I love stuff like that.
3 is always the solid number. You can almost take any pro football game and throw a 3 up there. But this game, you have to use 3.5, and the under is going to be the favorite. So 3.5 under 30, say.
3.5.
So if you want to go over 3.5, you get a plus.
Right, 3.5. Interesting. What about what do you think? What about the odds that someone on Seattle's defense will score the first touchdown, stuff like that?
Well, any defensive touchdown in the whole game is going to be about a plus $1.70. That's for any defensive touchdown, any special teams type of touchdown. If you're talking first touchdown, you're saying?
Yeah.
You're looking 30 to 1 on that.
Right. That's nice money, man. Like Sherman with a pick 6.
We got hurt the last 2 years. 2 out of the last 3 years, the first score of the game was a safety.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
I've lost 6 figures. Big 6 figures, 2 of the last 3 years on that particular bet.
Give me the odds. Give me the odds on the first score being a safety. What were they?
They're always like about 75 to 1.
Wow.
This year they might be 8 to 1. As much money as I've lost. The last 2 years.
Give me the odds on an overtime Super Bowl. I mean, there's a
overtime.
Will
there be an overtime in the game? You can get on a spread this close, which is a pick 'em. You're probably going to get about 8 or 9 to 1 on an over. To get 8 to 9 to 1, you're going to lay. If you don't think there'll be one, you're going to lay about 12.
If I don't think there's one, right? Okay.
Yeah, you'll lay 12. 2-point conversion in the game, you'll get somewhere around 4-1 on that.
No, interesting. So you said pick 'em. I have the New York papers have the Pats favored by 1.5. You still have it at a pick 'em.
Let me tell you how this whole spread came about. So I'm gonna tell you why I hung the number that I did hang.
This guy's great. He's amazing.
I'm just listening. I'm learning.
Now you'll
shit.
learn from
I'm
this guy.
learning like
Listen
a
to Mr.
motherfucker.
Avello. Yeah.
So my power rating, which is a team that's assigned to each team, and that's my starting point. My power rating on Seattle was 97, and my power rating on New England was 93.
Okay.
So that's a 4-point spread right there. Now, that doesn't count anything. That's no injuries, intangibles, coaching.
And the world of power ratings, that's a big spread, John, or kind of even? Sounds
That's 4.
Even.
Yeah, remember, that the difference between 97 and 93 is a 4-point spread.
Right, okay.
Okay? So then this is based on your offense, your defense, some other factors go into that number. So that's the number. I'm thinking around 3, probably closer to 3.5, possibly 3. And the reason I'm thinking 3 is because I've had AFC versus NFC up for 4 months. And that has been all over the place. It started off as the AFC the favorite, and it swung all the way to the NFC the favorite, and they laid, and when I say they, I'm talking about sophisticated players and other bettors, laid 2.5 on the NFC over the AFC, and they laid 3, just like 3 or 4 days before this game took place.
Wow.
And so that's telling me that if Seattle plays New England, they're the 2 favorites, that spread's going to be somewhere around 3. I had all 4 matchups up. Any Super Bowl possibility. I had the 4 of them. It was New England, Seattle, Colts, Seattle, Patriots, Packers, Colts, Packers. The Patriots, Seattle was 3, and 49.5 was the total, and they were laying the 3.5.
Okay.
So now when we all look at the game together, we see that Seattle has a poor game, and didn't live up to expectations, but still won the game. And New England had a great game. I mean, they just took that team apart. So, what is that worth? Okay, that's worth after a whole season of power rating adjustments. There's not any major adjustments at this point, and maybe a point. And so, Seattle, I brought down to 96. I raised the Patriots up to 93. That was 3, and I said, you know what? People saw what the Patriots did as of late. I'm going to open this game 2.5. Well, 2.5 was not the number that the public thought. 2.5 was not anywhere near enough of an adjustment, and so they took us all the way down. We went from 2.5 to 2 to 1.5 to 1, and then to pick. So there's all Patriot money right now.
Right.
All
So
Patriot money in the first 4 or 5 days of betting.
Right. So you had it at 2.5, and then based on where the action was going, it went down to a pick 'em already.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
And so remember, my gauge was all the stuff that they did before the game started. I still have all that money on the NFC too. So for me, I'm somewhat balanced out. I have that money from early, and I have this money now.
It's a lot of Patriots.
I don't know. They're in love with New England right now. They were in love with Denver last year. So they just think it's their time. They might be right, but that's why the big move has been on New England.
Yeah, they love Patriots. Seattle will fool you. I know it's politically incorrect, but we said the race thing. Did you know anybody who puts up a line like, will a white guy or a black guy score the first touchdown? Does anybody have stuff?
Good bet.
Well, I can do that on my race. Remember race?
Right? Yeah.
I'm allowed to do that. I'm the only guy in town allowed to do that because I have control over race.
No, obviously that's too politically incorrect for anybody to have. But that's why people like Michael Sam, I'm rooting for gay guys to get into the league and be accepted because what a great prop bet. Will the first guy to score a touchdown be gay? What are the odds that a gay guy scores the first TD? I mean, what a great prop bet. Right, John?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
That is great.
Boy, if I ever put that up, I'd probably have about another 3 to 4 hours of work left.
No, I'm not suggesting you do that, but I'll tell you what, there's some bookies in Staten Island who might do it. All right, so I like there's a lot of Patriots money. I don't know, that seems like a lot of early stupid money. People get bedazzled in their head by Belichick and Brady. Obviously, a lot of people say Belichick's the better coach. Where do you think Pete Carroll ranks ranks in the pantheon of great coaches? Do you think? I think he's in Belichick's league. I think the guy's a great coach.
I think he's a very good coach. I don't think anybody's in Belichick's league.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because if you've watched him through the years, yeah, he's made a mistake now and then, but sometimes Pete Carroll is a little more aggressive than the let's put it this way. He'll be aggressive at times when maybe he shouldn't be aggressive.
Right.
Whereas Belichick kind of knows when he needs to be and not to be. The guy's a master. I love his whole demeanor. I mean, he tells nothing.
Patient.
He just goes about his business. He's not a rah-rah guy. Pete Carroll's a rah-rah guy. I don't think you'll see Belichick on the sidelines jumping up and down.
No, yeah,
he's all business. I'm not going to take anything from Pete Carroll, but I just think Belichick's got to be, if he's not the top coach of all time, he's right there in second spot.
I mean, listen, if he wins this fourth one, a lot of people would say, yeah, best of all time. A lot of people would put him there. Some people have him there already because of his ring with the Giants. I think 2 rings with the Giants. Was he defensive coordinator, James, both times for both Giant Super Bowls in '86 and '90? I'm looking that up. But I agree. Who do you think's above him if Belichick's not the best coach ever, John, as a football fan?
Oh, you'd have to probably go back and look at Lombardi,
right.
Yeah, somebody a figure like that. And don't gauge Belichick on just Brady. Look at the year that Brady wasn't there and got hurt, and he used Castle. Remember that year?
Great point. Yeah,
they
absolutely.
won 10 games that year, and any other coach may have won 2 with that team.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just look at his complete history of coaching, and that just tells me how good he is.
Okay, so right now, and John, if you could squeeze in another interview with us before the Super Bowl, that would be amazing. Maybe the Thursday before the bowl, we go Monday through Thursday. That would be great. But as of right now, you like the over in the national anthem, 122 seconds.
I don't know. I think she's going to surprise everybody.
Right,
I think she's going to go short.
I think
everybody's expecting long.
John's making great points with the way she holds those notes.
I mean, she might give it up.
First half under over 24. The game under over, you got 49, and you got to pick them right now because that's good news to know from Vegas at wins at least, which is our standard. The Patriot, a lot of Patriots money.
What I would do if I were you, Artie, I would listen to the national anthem by multiple singers.
Yeah.
And then
I was actually going to suggest that.
See how long each one sings it.
Yes.
And then go listen to Frozen.
Right.
And see how she stretches out notes differently than others, and then that's your whole handicapping process of where you're going to go with that.
It depends on it. You're right. Some people don't. Like if the Ramones did it, it'd be like 4 seconds. But I love all those prop bets, and you're always so entertaining, John. Thanks. You think you could squeeze us in before the bowl one more time?
Absolutely, and I'll have all the props by then too.
That's right. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday before the game. And Belichick was the defensive coordinator for the Giants in '86 and '90. So 2 rings as a defensive coordinator, 3 as a head coach. So he's got to be up there in the Lombardi conversation. Mr. John Avello, you enjoy yourself. Try to rest a little bit. Don't let them get to you. And we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you.
John, am I allowed in win or not? We have to get to the bottom of this.
After this converation, yes, Chris.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, John.
You passed the interview. John, I love you, man.
Okay, guys, talk soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Great John Avello. I love John. I love talking to that guy. I can talk gambling all day, but that's it. So he's got 49 for the under-over in the game, and he's got the game at a pick'em, and that's interesting because a lot of money in Vegas is on the Patriots. Everyone's on the Patriots. Very, very interesting. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Had a couple of 2-hour ones in a row. We're going to keep this one on the shorter side, but another fun time on the podcast, entertaining you people. By the way, someone tweeted me that Sam Simon did try to get in touch with me. I will be in Los Angeles to do the Conan O'Brien show February 24th, and I'll do the Adam Carolla podcast that same week, and as many other things as I can do to promote this podcast. So the week of Monday, February 23rd, I'll be in to do Conan, Carolla, a few things out in L.A., and I'm going to try to to meet Sam Simon and get to the bottom of this. I'll keep you posted on that. Chris Cotton, any plugs, my friend?
At Cotton215 on Twitter and Instagram. I'll talk to you later, Chelsea.
Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea will be up here. Chelsea with the nice half,
with the nice tuchus,
right in between black and white liking ass. She'll be up here to entertain us.
As always, CenterCityComedy.com, Center City Comedy Podcast, First World Problems Podcast. Let me do this. Let me actually say where I'm going to be for the New York people. Tonight I'll be at I'll be at Laughing Devil Comedy Club, and tomorrow I'll be at New York Comedy Club. I'll give you the weekend on Thursdays.
All right. And Joe Matarese, our loyal co-host, I'm going to give him a quick plug, Fixing Joe, because we love him. We're busting his chops. We really love Joe and his children. Fixing Joe is the name of the podcast, soon to be on the Artie Quitter Network. For me, go to Artie Quitter. Tell your friends if you signed up. Tell your friends we're having a bunch of laughs over here. ArtieQuitter.com is how you sign up. And for all my information, ArtieQuitter.com. February 14th, Valentine's Day, I'm at the Borgata in Atlantic City. The weekend after at Cobb's in San Francisco. March 20th, by the way, I'm with Bobby Kelly and Jim Norton in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Mahaffey Theater. Check that out. Me, Kelly, and Norton. That's a good show. Flipping Behind the Dish, I love you. Chicago Dan Filato. Let's start getting on the windows. We'll start cleaning. Me and Dan, we clean. This is our cleaning day because we live together.